Hello. Welcome to another response to an Al Jazeera Plus video. They keep making them, I keep taking them down. Today's segment is about a video entitled, Should Students Carry Guns on Campus? A simple question with a very complicated answer, but Al Jazeera Plus tries to boil it down to a simple bad guy, good guy kind of thing. And you know, of course, who the bad guy is going to be. With that said, let's get to it.
My name is Alec Pillar. I'm a strong proponent of the campus carry bill on the University of Texas at Austin campus.
So we've got our bad guy. As you can see, Eric is immediately associated with the dreaded AR-15, the preferred weapon of mass killers, as the media likes to present over and over again.
I do plan to go get my concealed carry license the first time I am able to. I will be turning of age within the next couple of weeks here, and I do plan to carry at some point in the future.
So there you have it. Eric's a normal, Second Amendment kind of guy who wants to be able to carry a pistol legally. There's nothing wrong with that, especially in Texas. I myself had a concealed carry license in Texas when I lived down there. I have one now in my current state. Eric's planning on following all the rules. He's following the law. There's no problem, right? Well, that particular sequence seems innocuous enough. No red flags, really, except for the very last part there, including classrooms. That's where this video is really going to dig in and show its true colors.
I started handling firearms when I was about 4 or 5 years old. My father went out and bought a BB gun. It wasn't until I was about 12 or 13 whenever I actually started shooting live rounds at a shooting range. My primary reason for wanting to conceal or carry a weapon on campus is I believe as a last line of defense it is up to me to protect myself, and if there is a law that legally allows me to do that, then I'm going to take advantage of it.
And that is all you need to know about why someone should carry on campus. Pretty much why someone should carry anyway. Self-defense. Notice Alec did not say anything about interrupting a shooter who's active on campus. Notice he did not say anything about going out and being a hero. He wants to defend himself. If, in the course of that, others are defended, others are saved from injury, so be it. That's a bonus. That is not entirely accurate. There are 9 states which allow student concealed carry: Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, Texas, Wisconsin, Colorado, Utah, Idaho, and Oregon. However, out of those, 3 states do not allow comprehensive school carry. Arkansas only allows guns to be stored in locked cars in parking lots. That was implemented in 2015. All of the schools in the state have opted out of allowing student concealed carry. In Wisconsin, all of the state and private schools have opted to not allow student concealed carry on their campuses. And in Oregon, you can only carry as a student on community college campuses. There is no student concealed carry allowed on state schools or on private school grounds in Oregon. So that leaves actual comprehensive student concealed carry in Tennessee, Texas, Colorado, Utah, and Idaho. Kansas is going to allow student concealed carry in 2017. However, schools can opt out of that. And as we've seen, that seems to be the majority decision of states which have passed such bills.
I just really vehemently do not want guns in my classroom. I feel as though my freedom of expression has been stifled because of that fear that I feel that there are loaded guns in my classmates' backpacks, and that's something that I shouldn't have to worry about.
Notice what we've got here. She feels. she's going to be stifled. That hypersensitivity is not going to do anyone good. If you look at the number of schools who allow comprehensive student concealed carry and start multiplying that number by the number of students, the number of classroom hours, and you suddenly get millions of classroom hours without one shot being fired. But her feelings trump all of that data. Feels over reels, everybody. Feels over reels.
According to Texas Penal Code 43.22, dildos are a Class C misdemeanor. So if you openly carry a sex toy, you get about a $500 fine. But having a loaded handgun in a backpack, if you're 21 and up and have had 4 hours of training, that's perfectly legal. And so what we wanted to do was fight absurdity with absurdity.
Couple things here. First of all, dildos are not illegal in Texas. Openly carrying one is illegal. And when you think about it, it's not so absurd to not allow someone to walk around with the simulacrum of a human sex organ. Just not a good idea in case the kids are around. Now, as far as the law regarding student campus carry, who says that's absurd? The Texas legislature doesn't, and the Texas legislature is representative of the people of Texas. Yes, there are some who do not agree with it, but to compare that law with a law banning sex toys to be openly displayed in public is absurd in and of itself. Let's not try to point too many fingers here, darling. Okay, you're allowed to do that. You have legal recourse. Take that action. I want to ask one thing, though. Where's your data for showing that this would be an infringement on someone's First Amendment right, on their ability to speak freely in a classroom? I've already covered this, but it seems that you haven't done your research, so let's see how far that suit gets in the courts, eh?
Never been evidence in any mass shooting that's shown up in the research that a concealed carrier with 4 hours of training, that's the minimum required in Texas, has been able to intervene in an active shooter situation anywhere.
Lots to cover here. Let's go by her restrictions. We're talking mass shootings, 4 hours of classroom time, and interventions in active shooter situations. Well, there's only one state that meets that criteria, and that's Texas. Texas has had one incident in 2013 where there was a mass casualty incident of 3 people injured during a shooting. However, firearms were not allowed on Texas campuses back in 2013. So, if you go by her numbers, it's a complete null set. However, if you do a little more research, as I did on Wiki, you come up with some interesting figures. Since the year 2000, there have been 17 states which have had mass shootings. And I count a mass shooting as any incident that has 3 or more injured parties, including fatalities. That way, I weeded out the simple murder-suicides, which are fairly common in these types of events. There were 17 states in total that had had these mass incidents. 5 of them had multiple incidents, totaling 15 altogether. 3 of those 5 did not allow any form of concealed carry or locked weapon in a parking lot on campus: Arizona, Louisiana, and California. And you might be surprised to find out that California had a full 1/3, or 5 incidents out of those 15. Strictest gun laws in the country, yet they managed to lead in almost every mass shooting category. Virginia and Florida had 3 each. Virginia has 1 campus which allows firearms, and that's Liberty University. Florida allows firearms, but only in locked cars in parking lots. Arizona and Louisiana each had 2, and in those states there are no schools which allow any type of firearms. Campus mass shootings, like the one at Virginia Tech, happened before most of these states had opted in for student concealed carry. So to put out some bullshit statistic that no one has intervened in a mass shooting active shooter situation is just really hurting your cause, my dear.
I don't want to put my faith or the well-being of the students in my classroom in the hands of some overly confident, minimally trained person carrying a lethal weapon.
So you'd rather put your faith in the goodness of mankind, knowing that no one would ever come into your classroom and start shooting because you're a good person, I guess. A side note, did you notice how the music suddenly shifted? It went from that cute little upbeat AJ Plus stuff to this real mournful, almost a dirge type of thing? Not pulling at your heartstrings at all here, are they? Not trying to push an agenda, one iota.
Do I feel fearful for my own safety? I do think about moving around the campus differently. There was a bullet casing with a message left on the bulletin board right outside of my door that said, "Got triggered." And it was some jerk, trying to intimidate us. But that made me aware of the changed climate on campus.
Call me a climate change denier then. Exactly what climate shifted on your campus because there was a jerk? There haven't been jerks before the law went into effect? This was the first time someone had used a bullet and the word triggered at the same time? I really don't think so. Two things here. First, 1% of 50,000 students. That's 500. You could have one lecture hall with almost that many students in it. So the thought of widespread gun usage on campus is a myth. Second thing, you can openly carry a firearm in Texas, except on college campuses. So it's not like it's suddenly the Wild West on campus in Texas.
If you do look at where all these mass shootings are happening, they're in gun-free zones. Someone that's going in with a gun and the intent to kill someone is not looking to get into a gunfight. They're looking to kill as many people as possible. They're not looking for you to shoot back, and I believe it is in your best interest to carry a gun if you can, legally.
Let's look at that gun-free zone a little closer. There are 12 states which completely ban student concealed carry, or guns on campus at all. And out of those 12, there have been 31 shooting incidents since 2000. That includes single fatality or single casualty events. California had 8 out of those 31. There's another 7 states which allow guns in parking lots only. They had 11 shootings. Out of the states which do allow concealed carry by students, there have been 2 with shootings for a total of 4 incidents, and none of those occurred after campus carry was allowed. So if you look at these stats just a little further, you'll see that those 19 states which have restrictive gun laws or no guns whatsoever account for 90% of the states which have had incidents. And out of the 46 incidents total, 42 of them occurred in these states with bans or severe restrictions. That's 91%. So yeah, gun-free zones are definitely a favored hunting ground of people looking to commit mayhem with a firearm on a campus.
I think some of my concerns are for students of color in particular. I had a colleague say to me, but there's always been guns on campus, and sorority girls always have guns.
Okay, so what does she do next? Does she say, so then I realized I'm making a big deal out of something that isn't new and I should relax? Or does she double down on the whole social justice thing, even go as far as maybe a Black Lives Matter thing? Take your pick. Answer in a second.
And I just thought about that. It's like, well, could be just a large black man crossing the street between the intersection like we all do when we're walking around campus, at night and getting too close to someone who might be a little jumpy, and that, well-intended sorority girl might shoot, one of her fellow students who looks large and scary at night.
Yep. Not only people of color, but it's a black man. A black man who's doing nothing but walking down the street, and he gets too close to a sorority girl, and she blasts him. How many times has that happened? 0. How many times is it likely to happen in the future? Probably 0. Certainly close enough to it to not count. And what's this about a sorority girl suddenly pulling a gun? I thought the whole point of your lawsuit was that guns would inhibit freedom of speech in the classroom, that someone's Second Amendment rights would inhibit everyone else's First Amendment rights. How did we go from that to a sorority girl blasting an innocent black man because he got close to her on the sidewalk at night? Seriously, woman, where is your head? So there you have it. Another hit piece by Al Jazeera Plus about the evils of American society. Thank you, Qatar, for sending this our way. You think you'd have better ways to spend your money, like building the FIFA stadiums for the World Cup that you stole. You know, public works. Anyway, I looked up the teacher who's featured in this piece. Mia Carter, I believe. She's a competent teacher. She got her PhD in '92, and she's been teaching at University of Texas long enough to have won several awards. So she's not a bad person, but she's not a very smart person. So that's it for now. I'm not going to put on an anecdote this time. I'm trying to gauge the waters and see if they make a difference or not. The impression I'm getting is they don't. If you would like anecdotes to return, please leave a comment in the section below. As always, thank you for your attention.